I've spoken about before what I would like to see in Amazon series, but just how much narrative can you really get when there's only a handful of pages written for thousands of years of history of Middle-earth? The question, or the main point that I really missed last time, was how much can you add without changing the core? And that is the ultimate balancing act, because the showrunners, they've got to get new people interested and involved, and they haven't just spent north of $1 billion just for nerds like you and I. But obviously this isn't a new problem. This is exactly what happened in the Lord of the Rings films. They replaced Glorfindel for Arwen to find Frodo. They ditched the scenes of the hobbits, fleeing the Shire through the Old Forest and Barrow Downs, and probably the most common and egregious addition of the Elves of Lorien at Helm's Deep, just so that we could see more Haldir, which obviously was great. We should expect that some things are going to change. They're going to be different, but that doesn't mean automatically that it is going to be worse. And they're going to have to bring in some relatable characters for those people that have only seen the original trilogy. So Galadriel's going to be there. Elrond's going to be there too. Additionally, it appears that they have gone for the approach that the Blue Wizards have already arrived in the middle of the Second Age. So these are the other two, not Gandalf, not Radagast or Saruman. This way you get the familiarity of a guiding wizard on hand. Obviously it's not Gandalf, but Gandalf can't have always have been there.
You did not kill me.
Rather surprisingly, Sir Lenny Henry has been cast as a hobbit. I'm sure many people thought that he was going to be one of the Blue Wizards, but no, it's actually been confirmed that he is playing a hobbit, and that's quite interesting because, obviously The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings both had hobbits at the centre as the main characters. And they are the most ordinary and most relatable race of all. The hobbits, they were not mentioned in any of the annals or records of any in the West until about the 11th century of the Third Age, when the hobbits came upon some Arnorians. This could be potentially thousands of years ahead of the start point of our series, but if the focal point of the series has a small band of hobbits, would it actually matter, and would it change what Tolkien had laid down for us years prior? I guess not. I don't think so. But in an interview with BBC Radio 1, he does go on to say that he's playing one of the Harfoots, and if you'd like to know more about them, I made a short video on them last year. But yes, it could be explained away simply by saying that they were so small and diminutive, and there were these turbulent times, and there weren't that many of them. People wouldn't have really noticed them, and hence they were not written in the records of the time. And obviously, hobbits originally were said to have come out of the east, and there's always the chance that actually the series could take us out way beyond into the east, beyond where even the Orocani are. If you just let me indulge in a brief tangent, I was recently watching The Witcher Season 2, just came out. Great show, by the way. I've got no prior knowledge of it. I haven't played the games, I haven't read the books. Having Yennefer Vengerberg being played by Anya Chalotra, who is a British Indian, it did not make the story any better or worse. It didn't change it for me at all. I think she played it actually fantastically, particularly at the end of Season 1 when she was summoning all that fire out. But why am I bringing this up? Well, the point is that the elves in this series, they're probably not going to be portrayed as burning magnesium, don't look directly at it, pale elves. Some people don't want this for lore reasons, some people don't want it for the R word, which I won't say because I bet YouTube censors it, but I don't think the vast majority would care at all, and it shouldn't care. Just as for The Witcher. Just because it doesn't fit the Tolkien description of an elf doesn't mean that it's going to change the narrative, and it's not something that anyone should be worried about either. But all of this said, there is so much scope for good, because as I said, there was only a handful of pages to cover thousands of years of history, so there is so much good that they could actually come up with. They have so much free reign that hopefully they could just pull it off. But obviously there's always going to be cynics that are dangerously cynical. Did I just say that? Well, of course I did, because I'm dangerously unimaginative, and just like the regular person that is just scrolling through on their Prime Flix Plus account looking for something good to watch on a lazy Sunday afternoon. And that's ultimately what the large portion of the audience is going to be. But anyway, those are my thoughts for now. And maybe I'll post some more in the future. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. I'm going with Gandalf. Good day. And that's that.